Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will be doing hot water cornbread. Okay, so I will link down below the traditional recipe for hot water cornbread, but I will be using a cornbread mix. Okay, so by cornbread mix I mean that it is cornmeal, it's flour, and it's also sugar. So you can use whatever cornmeal mix that you prefer, or you can do the traditional recipe. Okay, so this brand that I'm using here is Texas Pure Cornbread, organic cornbread mix. 140 calories per serving, no cholesterol, sodium is 310 milligrams. So do not add salt to this. And probably any cornmeal mix you already have, it's already salted. And also it already has sugar in it. This has 8 grams of sugar, which is probably a lot for a lot of people. But it may be perfect for you depending on where you're from. So hey, to each his own, make it how you want to make it. But just know that the traditional hot water cornbread recipe is just cornmeal, a pinch of salt, and hot water. Some people add butter as well. But okay, so I have my mix here. This is about maybe 1.5 cups of cornmeal mix. I will be doing 2 tablespoons of country crock plant butter. Please excuse the nails, you guys. I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna do them. Don't pay attention to the nails. Watch the food. Okay, country crock plant butter, olive oil. This is the olive oil one. It is dairy free. You can use whatever type of butter you would like to use. It's at your discretion. Now I already have my hot boiled water here that I boiled off camera. The recipe that I looked at says you want it boiling hot, okay? You don't want it warm or you will not get the results that you want. So I'm actually going to heat mine up a little. Okay, you guys, looks like this water is boiling now. So let's see if I can lean you guys where you can see it. I'm going to turn it off. All right. Hopefully it didn't fog up the camera. Okay. All right. So this is my first time doing it, but from the recipe that I saw, it says, you know, be careful not to add too much water, okay? They said it's very easy to add too much water. If you add too much water, you will not get the consistency of a dough. So the goal here is to get the consistency of a dough. We want it to be able to move it around in our hand without it sticking to us, without it being slimy like, okay? So I'm just gonna pour. I'm probably gonna get it on the counter. Just pour a little bit, move it around. Move it around. You see how it's kind of fluffing up that cornmeal there? That's what you want. Okay. Oh, let's see. Hopefully we didn't add too much. We have a lot of cornmeal in here. Be careful not to burn yourself when you begin to work the dough, but hopefully it'll be cooled down by that point. How many of you have made cornbread on the stove before? If you have, link it down below. Leave your comments below and let me know if you have. I've done cornbread on the stove, but I've never done hot water cornbread. All right. So it's looking doughy here. We're going to go ahead and add those 2 tablespoons. And it's warm, so if you leave your butter sitting out anyway, it'll already be room temperature and soft, so you can just move it around in here. All right. And this butter will help the dough to not stick to your hands so much. And you see, look at that. That is what you want to see, you guys. That's the goal. If it's too runny, then you've added too much. And according to the recipe I saw, if it's too runny, then you have to start over. But I mean, I would say before you go ahead and throw it away, I would just try adding in more cornmeal mix to even out the water. Okay, so there we are. You see that? See the way I'm able to touch it and it's not sticking to me? That's the butter. Now, because I have so much mix in here, I might have to add a little bit more of the hot water to incorporate this dry mixture, because we don't want any dry patches in here. That wouldn't be fun. So let's see. Yeah, we have some done at the bottom. So let us just add, we're gonna just be careful now. Do that much. Work your way in there, because it would be a shame if you get the perfect dough and then you just tip it right at the end and add too much and have to start over, or continue to mess with it until you get it the way you want it. I would recommend using more of a bowl. This container was just most convenient for me. That's why I picked this, but a bowl may help you get those dry corners a bit better, so you're not doing what I'm doing. Okay, see, adding in that hot water made it a little more tacky, but we're gonna work in this dry patch down here and we'll be able to fix that. Okay, you guys, so this is what the dough looks like. I got it together off camera. I did feel like I added a little too much hot water. So what I did was I rested the dough. I put it, you can put it in the refrigerator or the freezer. I stuck it in the freezer to speed up the process. I left it for maybe about I would say maybe about 5 to 8 minutes. So now I can touch it and you see it's not all over my hands, okay? So we have our hot pan here. Hopefully you can see it. All right. So I'm going to put some Crisco in there, pure canola oil. All right, so you don't need a lot of oil. Just move that around. Turn my pan up a little here. Then this is also a good time to test your dough as well. If you want to know if you want to add a little more sugar, or maybe you need a pinch more salt or what. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of the dough here. How do you guys like your cornbread when it's done on the stove? I like mine to be kind of on the thinner side, so I'm not going to do these real big. I'm gonna do it about like that size. Probably thinner than that, honestly. Let's see, our pan's not hot enough yet though. You don't want to make it too hot because you will get popped. you guys, so this is what they're looking like. Could be more buttery for me, you know, but to each his own. But I think I'm gonna add more butter to mine. But remember, if you're adding butter to it, remember your pan is still hot, so be careful. Alright, so we're gonna take these out. I just wanted to butter them while they're hot. Okay, so you can see how they're brown, kind of golden yellow. Yours may be darker or lighter. That really depends on how much butter you add and how you mix your dough. Okay, we'll come back to that one. He doesn't want to come out the pan. So these are a little thick for my preference. So the next batch I make, I'm gonna make them thinner than this. But we're gonna give these a taste and see if we wanna tweak anything, add anything, take anything away. Alright, so here we are. Gonna move you guys over here. So this is our hot water cornbread. You want to make sure you cook it long enough to cook the insides. You can see here it's not doughy in there. Woo, it's hot though. I'm gonna give it a little taste. Sweet, buttery. I like the crunch that I got on the outside. Excuse me, you guys, I didn't mean to smack in your ear. It's still soft in the middle. It's cooked all the way through, but it's moist and soft in the middle. Crunchy on the outside part. I would say make a, you could make a honey butter for this. There's just so many different ways that you can add to it and switch it up. I would say add more butter. The recipe I looked at said 2 tablespoons, but for me personally, it's a little dry. I would like mine more buttery, so the next time I make this, I would add more butter. But you can add butter at this stage as well. You can melt it and pour it over, however you want to do it. But okay, you guys, this is the hot water cornbread. I know I've broken this one here, but hot water cornbread, this is how they came out. Let me know if you try it. Let me know how yours comes out. Let me know if you add anything. I mean, gosh, you could add so many different things. You could do jalapeno hot water cornbread. You know, it's just different avenues you could go with this. But all right, thanks for watching, you guys. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and please turn those post notification bells on so you know when I drop a video.
Te quiero a ti.